Hey guys, good morning. Happy Sunday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and early 7 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I got so much I want to talk about today. Oh, let me talk about this first. I'm in the middle of my workout and I got a question about the gloves. It was more of a mocking kind of thing. And I can understand why they see me wearing these and they wonder why. I'm in the middle. I take a break during my 4-hour daily workout to do a video. And I love these gloves. They're Gold's Gym. And the only size that was available to me was medium, and I needed large. So they're very tight. They're hard to take on and off. So this is why when I take a break from working out, I don't take them off because especially once they start to get, I start to work up a sweat. They're almost impossible to get on and off. I should have bought the right size gloves, and that's why I leave them on during the video. Okay, let's move on to this. I had a conversation with I was going to call him a friend, but the more I think about it, especially after yesterday's video and the day before, I don't think I can actually really call him a friend. He's a male nurse from the same town as me. We got to know each other in my recovery. Back in 2006, he was in my treatment program when I was in recovery from drug addiction. And we live in the same town. I do artwork and murals for the clinic where he works, which isn't too far from here. So we see each other a lot. We saw each other Friday. Now he's a Trump supporter and Republican, and I obviously am not. He knows I have this channel, and we had a bit of a conversation. Now I started thinking about this, because I was going to say he's a friend, but then before I started making this video, I thought about this. Daryl, honestly, would you hang out with him? Just like when I talked about my barber yesterday. And honestly, I wouldn't hang out with him. And let me explain to you why. And it's not because he's a bad person, not because I don't think Trump supporters are necessarily bad people. But I'll tell you why. He's not a thief. He's not a liar. It's because of the negativity. In this conversation, it just was a lot of negativity. I see this over and over again with people that support Donald Trump. They have an axe to grind. They feel like they're getting the short end of the stick. This is the way this male nurse actually explained it to me, that he doesn't make quite enough money to get assisted, to get the entitlements, I think he called them. I hate when I hear that word. And he's not rich, so he's in this middle income, and so am I. That's what I said. So am I. There's no difference between us. What I see with Trump, people like him, is they compare themselves. I've told you guys this. It's a sure way to be unhappy in life is to compare yourself to other people. I've told you guys before. With me, it's just about how much better I could be than yesterday. With people like this, Trump supporters, from what I've seen, my observations, people in the economic ladder under them, they tend to think that these people are getting more than they deserve, that they're catching up. They're somehow catching up. They're being given handouts, and they're somehow catching up economically to them. And they're very upset about this, that they work harder than everybody else, and they don't, these other people don't deserve what they have. And the people above them on the economic ladder, I think they feel a lot of envy towards. They judge their life on how much more other people have. And like I said before, that's a sure way to unhappiness. Look at this with my life. If that's the way I lived, I would be incredibly unhappy. I'd be ready to open a vein. Look at this. So for 20 or 30 years, I started off working for an architectural office, and then I got involved in addiction. And for 20 or 30 years, I just threw away everything I had. And now, of course, I have a hell of a lot less than my peers. They have houses, homes, families, boats, cars, vacations, all that. And I don't compare myself to them. I'm just happy with what I've accomplished, especially what I've accomplished over the last 15 years. And to be honest with you guys, I'm just happy to see the sun come up this morning. I swear to God, especially with everything that went on with the last year with losing people. It's not about the boats and the cars and, the gas costing $4.50 a gallon or whatever. So one day that I'm not going to see that sun come up anymore. That day's going to come. And until then, I'm just happy to see that sun come up. All right, so I get into a conversation with this Trump supporter. I believe we started talking about gas. I think I pointed out to him, kind of, good-natured ribbing. Hey, the price of gas is going down, because he gets into Joe Biden right off the bat. And I said, but the price of gas is going down. And immediately this guy says, but in 10 years, it's going to be $150 a gallon. It's going to go up. It's going to go way up. And then he went on to talk about the pipelines. Joe Biden cut off the pipelines. And this is what he said now, this Trump supporter. He's selling all the oil to Russia, and we have to buy it back. They're making Russia rich. And the fracking, Joe Biden cut off the fracking. Now, I didn't debate him. I just, a lot of times I like to listen. I want to know what these people are thinking. And then I go back and I fact check what they say. I agree with him that in 10 years, the price of gas probably will go up a lot. And that makes my point that fossil fuel is a finite resource. I don't know why people they don't want to believe this. It's that in the next 40 or 50 years, the Earth is going to run out of fossil fuel. There will be no more. It's finite. There's not an infinite amount of fossil fuel in the Earth, even with fracking. I started to mention fracking. Look, I'm not going to get into the whole process of fracking and what it does and how, and how water, people's drinking water catches on fire when it comes out of the faucet. Have you ever seen those videos where people could put a match to their the water coming out of the faucet and it flames? But you generally look at fracking in the process of beating up the earth to try to pull this oil, the last little drips and drabs of oil out of the earth, and it can't be a good thing for anyone, for the earth, for people, for anyone. So I pointed out to this guy. So he's blaming Joe Biden because the gas prices are up, and gas prices are making inflation go up, and Joe Biden's ruining everything. And I don't know if people forget. I think even me, we have short-term memories. Like or not even. Now, I have a hard time remembering what happened 6 months ago or a year ago. But you think back in the pandemic. Yes, it's been a pandemic. And this isn't just an excuse, it's reality. You think of March, April, May, June of 2020. The stores were all closed. Can you remember that? I mean, it's hard to believe looking back, but remember, everything was closed. The road, I remember Main Street was almost deserted. People weren't going out, people weren't driving, weren't flying, weren't buying anything. Stores, everything but, absolute necessities. I forgot what the words were. Everything was closed. People could not spend their money. Plus, then we started getting stimuluses. Granted, a lot of people were out of work. But nobody was using gas. Nobody was spending money on the movies or going out to eat. Then comes the vaccine. Right at the same time Joe Biden gets elected. Now, of course, people that haven't gone out, haven't taken vacation, are taking taking a vacation to make up for like the 2 or 3 that they missed. Supply and demand. It's, I don't see, and then if you look at the price of gas and considering everything that's happened over the last 18 months, the price of gas really isn't that bad. So this is one last thing I brought up too. I started to talk about how I said the price of my heating is included in my rent. And this Trump supporter jumped all over me. He says, well, some of us aren't so lucky. We're not entitled like you are. We have to really pay for it. And this is where the conversation kind of ended, because I just looked at him with my mouth open. Do you think for some reason I'm getting free heat? It's 55 and over, but that's it. There's no special reasons to live here or anything. There's no entitlements, none of that stuff. So my heat is included in my rent. I am paying more. Inevitably, I'm sure the management, the people that are renting this to me, have a reason economically for doing this. Of course I'm paying for heat. I'm just not paying for it in the same way. What I was trying to point out is I don't see it as quickly as they do, as the people that are paying directly for their heat, because it's included in my rent. I will see it when my lease is up and I have to sign a new lease. I'll see my rent go up, probably substantially. But he didn't even give me time to explain this before he jumped all over me as being one of the entitled people. Well, we have to, I'm not as lucky as you. And this points out like why I said, why I wouldn't hang out with this person just as on a friend basis. It's this poor me. Everybody's doing better. Everybody's getting extra breaks, and the people above them, they feel that's where they should be. It's a sense of entitlement. And this is, again, why I wouldn't call myself a friend, why I wouldn't hang out with these people. I don't think they're bad people, but I believe in positivity and being thankful for seeing the sun come up this morning. And it sounds corny, but it's not a load of bull. All right, you guys have a great Sunday. I'll be back later with another video.